Hello, one and all. Welcome back to College Football 25. Here's a breakdown of our recruiting. We have made it into the top of some schools, some lists for some of our 4-stars we're looking at here, but we have been locked out of a couple. We even lost a 2-star commit to San Diego State, unfortunately, but we do increase our championship contender status, so people are now looking at Utah State as a potential B for championship contention. They think they might have a shot, a B shot. At it. So Rasul Faison gets Mountain West Conference Offensive Player of the Week honors after his massive showing in our last game against New Mexico. So today's game is another rivalry, so it's our second rivalry so far this season. Remember, our first one was the Battle of the Brothers against Utah earlier in the year, and this one is a new rivalry, at least for us as coach here at Utah State, against Wyoming. I believe it's the Bridgers Battle, I think is what they call it. So that is what we're getting into today. And Wyoming, the Cowboys have kind of struggled so far this season. They are 2-5. They are not one of the more formidable opponents that we've played, and it is a cold, wet, and rainy game here. You know, man, that vibe. Just that vibe when it gets to fall time in college football and you start getting some of those cold and just rainy, nasty games. Oh, I can't wait for it. In a few months, guys, it's going to be there. Oh, man, right on Thanksgiving. Between Halloween and Thanksgiving, just, that little cushiony time. I'm getting romantic about that time of the year. But it's coming. It's so soon it's coming. So we're going to get right along here late in the first quarter. It's a 3rd and long for Wyoming, and their quarterback's going to drop back here, and he's going to uncork one to the left side of the field. Now one is going to be hauled in for a humongous gain. And so inside the 10 now is the Cowboys offense. They're going to go on the ground, and the running back's going to drag some Aggie defenders into the end zone. Beautiful end zone design, by the way, Wyoming. Absolutely beautiful end zone design, and a very pretty stadium. I think that's the best thing you could say for it, is that it's a pretty stadium. So Wyoming strikes first early on in this game here. They get 6 points on the board. Fire off the howitzer, because I guess every school seems to do the same touchdown celebration for some reason. I don't know. It's kind of like back in the day, the old NCAAs, when everyone had a cannon that they fired. It's literally the same thing. It's funny how the times have changed. So we finally get an opportunity on offense, and we dot one up to Brock Lane, who's got a half step on his defenders, and he's trying to outrun them. He doesn't have the speed for it, but he does pick up about another 10 yards after the catch to get inside the 20-yard line. So we flip the field on Wyoming and have an opportunity now to get some points late in this first quarter. We're going to bring a man in motion, and we're going to give him that man the ball, and it's Jack Estera, who's got a half step on the edge. Couldn't quite cut up and get into the end zone before stepping out of bounds, but it's okay because we do get the first down. And on 1st and goal, we're going to give it to Rasul Faison, who can't seem to power his way into the end zone. So on the next play, we're going to try it again, and this time he does power his way through and gets drug in. So he gets his first touchdown of the game. Man, the reigning conference player of the week gets himself his first touchdown here in Wyoming. So big ol' shout out to Rasul Faison, one of the biggest cornerstones of this offense so far in this season. But that is going to do it for the first quarter of play here in Wyoming. We are knotted up at 7 apiece, and things are pretty even, except we have been pretty potent on the passing side of things here. But this is still anybody's game here. It's a grudge match early on. So at the top of the second quarter here, we have an opportunity on offense, and Petrus is going to get rid of this one before getting absolutely clobbered. And somehow Jalen Royals hauls that in double coverage and gets inbounds. We're going to need to look at that one again, and I think the booth is going to look at that one again, because that is absolutely, a game of inches, man. An absolute game of inches. Jalen Royals somehow, and Petrus just barely gets rid of this one and sends a monster 40, 50-yard pass, and Jalen Royals just somehow holds on to that. I love the possession catch there. That was beautiful. Just an amazing heads-up play by our senior receiver. And here is the booth look at it. This is the replay that they're looking at to see if he is in bounds. You can't really get a good look at it, but they are going to give it to us. So 14-7 is your score, but Wyoming is already looking to answer back to us as their quarterback goes across the middle, and the receiver is going to haul it in and get brought down just at about the 6 or 7 yard line. So we hold them to a 3rd and goal. We have an opportunity to get them off the field, and their quarterback's running for his life, and he turns one way into Marlon Dean and turns the other way and finds another Aggie defender before hitting the grass. pass. So that's going to be a humongous sack for our defense, man. I think they're all the way back to the 20 at that point. So a little bit longer of a chip shot, but it is still a chip shot, and it is good in the wet, cold rain. And Wyoming's going to answer back with 3 points instead of 7, which is always a good thing. So 10-14 is your score. We have a 3rd and short situation. Uncork this deep ball here, and Colby Bowman gets away from his defenders. Somehow that zone or man coverage, I don't even know what they were running, man, but it was a humongous breakdown, and Colby Bowman just gets behind both of those defenders and is all alone in the secondary, and he takes this one all the way to the end zone, man. And look at this replay. Just look how Colby Bowman exposes this. I don't even know what happened. Just a deep ball. Look at that. I think that dude who was further away was the one who was covering Colby on the initial route, but at the apex of his route, he broke to play a zone, like a shallow zone. I don't know what that was. It was bizarre, but Wyoming's going to try for a very, very long field goal, and again, another massive field goal from an unlikely kicker. Has more than enough leg, but just can't seem to angle that one upright as he pushes this one wide right. So that is a pretty nice attempt from Wyoming to try and get some points here before half, but they're not going to successfully do it. So 21-10 is going to be your score here. We still have a minute left to go in the first half to potentially maybe add some more points, and we're going to do just that on offense. So Spencer Petras drops back, pressure is in his face, and all alone, Colby Bowman, what happened? What on earth happened? Oh my goodness, man. Wyoming, those DBs are going to get grilled in practice. Regardless of the outcome of this game, they are going to get absolutely grilled. What on earth happened? Oh my gosh. Just free as a bird. No one even back there. No one was even covering him. I think I had to stop and show my brother that replay because I was like, dude, I don't even know how he got so open. Just a huge breakdown in coverage. That's how you read a defense, folks. I'm not going to claim I know how, but that one play, I definitely did. So 28-10 is your score. Wyoming's going to try to run the hurry up because they are not going to take this brutal whooping at home lying down. So they're going to try and get something going, and they're going to force it now, and that's when you start making mistakes, and this one's heading the other way, and it is a pick six. So we're going to get another touchdown before the half is over. Jaden Pearson, 44-yard pick six to the house. And it is a huge defensive touchdown for the Aggies. So we haven't seen a big defensive touchdown in a little bit. I think we might have had one in the New Mexico game. We did have a fumble. I remember that with a big fumble recovery, but our defense has been pretty efficient. They've made some pretty big plays when they've needed to, and just right there, man, that tight end was just standing there too. Didn't make any effort towards the ball or anything. Just Pearson just completely read that from the jump. Man, just saw that one. Saw that, was staring at the quarterback's eyes. Knew exactly what was coming, what was going to happen. So the first half is going to come to a close. Wyoming finds themselves in a massive hole, man. 35-10. I don't know what happened to this Aggies team from a couple weeks ago, but I mean, we've played strong all season long. We played USC well. We played Utah well, which were the better teams on our schedule. And now as we get into the conference play, get some of the weaker teams on our schedule, things seem to be getting a little bit easier for us. So I am happy with how things are going, man. And this is what happens, I guess, when you don't have all the dregs of Heisman to bring your save down. But you know, we are a decent team. We are one of the better teams in the Mountain West. Our roster's one of the better rosters, man. And Wyoming, again, they're 2-5 coming into this game. So Wyoming has not had the best season so far to speak. And we just kind of exposed New Mexico's flaws last week. So we just seem to be on a roll now. So it is a handoff now. The quarterback's going to keep it, and he's going to get clobbered, man. He's going to get just knocked out. Did you see that? He got popped. And he's going to drop the football, and it's going to get picked up by a big D lineman. It's Iniguez Jr., who's going to pick that one up. And now it's another turnover on back-to-back drives for our defense. We're going to try and immediately turn this one into points. But when you make terrible decisions like that, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. I think I just panicked. I was just forcing it. I didn't see anything. And I was like, someone's got to be open, and just kind of threw it. Needed to throw that one away, but it's okay, man. Just take the points on that. But like I said, I don't know. I'm not going to claim to know how to read defenses. I just did it once on that one play. That is it. So Wyoming isn't able to do anything with it. So on 3rd and 11 now, again, we have the football dropping way, way back, and it's another interception. It's another one. And this one's going back the other way. Jalen Royals is in pursuit, though. He gets a hand on, and Colby Bowman is able to make the touchdown-saving tackle, but not before Wyoming gets a pretty decent return here from their DB to get it back past midfield. So two very terrible mental mistakes by Spencer Petras is giving Wyoming plenty of opportunity to at least get themselves back in this game. They're still struggling to do so, but this is a decent run play, and it's got an opportunity here. It's got a chance as it gets to the end zone. That's a touchdown for Wyoming. A beautiful run play design here by the Cowboys. Just gets them all the way into the end zone. So we haven't seen too much running-wise from Wyoming. They haven't really been able to do much, at least on the ground, from what we've seen. But that was a beautiful run play design by the Cowboys offense. So 17-35 is your score here with just under a minute in the third quarter. We still have time again, and it's another deep ball opportunity, and Micah Davis is wide open. Good grief, he's naked, way out there, as he hauls that one in, and it's another massive reception for this Aggies offense, man. That's going to do it for the third quarter of play. 35-17 is still your score. We get held out scoreless in the third quarter, actually, so Wyoming maybe fighting back a little bit here. And here's a look at the rankings, and look at that, man. Utah is number 1. We almost beat Utah. They're number 1 in the country. That is crazy to me. Surely that will not hold. So on third and goal, we're going to give it to Briggs Jr., the little second running back here, and he's going to run up the middle and get into the end zone untouched. And it is another Aggie touchdown, and we are pouring it on to the Cowboys here late in this ball game. So another potential backups type of situation here, but with how we played, how terribly we played in the third quarter, there's an opportunity here that Wyoming isn't quite done. So they're going to keep moving the football, and yeah. Yep, that's the kind of game they're having. That's definitely the kind of game they're having. And it's another pick six here as Selden Jr. gets his name etched into this game. 54-yard pick six to the house, and our defense comes up with third turnover in this game. I believe it's the third. I don't think I cut any of them out, but third massive turnover and their second touchdown. So that's one of the huge difference makers too. I think that was kind of something that we looked at maybe in the UNLV or maybe even in the New Mexico game, that the turnovers were really what kind of changed, the course of that. If they didn't have the turnovers and we didn't have the points off the turnovers, it would have been a much closer game. But it's a similar situation here in Wyoming as we finish the score 56-24. So in the Bridgers battle, we get our 42nd series victory over Wyoming. I think they've shown like the recent history, but I'm not sure all time how that stacks up between both schools. But regardless, we are the winners of it today. Spencer Petras gets Player of the Game honors because he just absolutely lit up the stat sheet here. Even the INT column, he was lighting that one up as well. He was giving passes to everybody. You couldn't stop him from completing passes. And Colby Bowman was the one who was he was there on the receiving end of this crazy day from Petras, as he gets 2 massive touchdowns on his own. Look at that, man. 465 yards of total offense. Crazy. Our offense has gotten so potent, man. We're strong on both sides of the ball, but I'm just shocked at just how much we were able to do on offense. I didn't think our offense would be one of the stronger aspects of our team, but it is. It's turned into it. So we had nothing happen in the third quarter, an explosive fourth quarter. And between both of our running backs, they get over 100 yards, but no one really has, between the two of them, it's one complete great day, but split that between two, it doesn't look that good. So, but that is going to do it, essentially, for this video, as we finish off another game against Wyoming, still only holding on to 1 loss at the hands of the Utah Utes. So, when we get into the next video here, we're getting down to the end of the season, so hope to see you guys there in that next one.